Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I want to talk about what you can expect according to your moon and or your ascendant sign in Sidereal Vedic astrology. And remember, if you do not know your Sidereal Vedic signs, then you're going to want to go to mygalacticcenter.org, my website, and go to my free chart calculator and put in all your information. And once you do so, remember you need to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find out your AS, which is your ascendant, or your MO, which is your moon. Those are the two signs you listen to. So if you want to take this a step further, if you really want to use astrology, which I sincerely hope you will, go to my galactic planner. It will calculate and give you a hard copy of your chart, everything that you want, even your transits and what's going to be happening and your dashas for your chart. But at least you're going to know what your ascendant and your moon sign are. So go to my galactic planner, which is galacticplanner.com, and you're going to get all the information you need to realize what your sidereal moon sign is and your sidereal ascendant sign is. So with that, while you're at my website there, checking things out, don't forget about my Patreon. My goodness, this is the greatest spiritual community. We come together every week and talk about everything about health, healing, what's going to be happening in the next week as well. So one more thing, if you want to learn Vedic astrology, I have the best university out there, all online, self-paced, join anytime. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com and become my student. So now let's get going and let's talk about your Vedic sidereal moon and ascendant, what you can expect for the month of October. If your sidereal moon or ascendant sign sits in sidereal Aries, then Mars has been transiting your 7th house. It will this whole month. And that can create some problems, disagreements in relationships. Mars is pretty combative, so please take the time to talk things out rationally and realistically. Don't get into arguments or fights. Watch what you say and do. And of course, towards the end of the month, we know Jupiter's going into your 4th house. So that's going to be relative to big changes with a move, change of residence, and or buying real estate. And it's also a time to reconnect with your mother if she's still around. If your sidereal moon or ascendant sit in Taurus, then Mars is transiting your 6th house, which will give you a lot of energy in terms of activities, health, healing, getting healthier, exercise, but be a little careful because you could be a little bit more accident prone during this time. There's so much going on in your 6th house. And if you want to hire people for your business, this is a time that you're going to have issues with people around the business because Mars can be combative, difficult, and even co-workers can be a problem. But with Jupiter transiting towards the end of the month in your 3rd house, you'll be traveling more, you'll be learning more, and you could have a better connection with one of your siblings. If your sidereal moon or ascendant sit in Gemini, then this means that Mars and Mercury, they will be, and the Sun primarily, in your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of creative talents. You're coming up with new ideas, businesses, things with investments. This is the time that you're coming up with all these new ideas, but be careful. Don't be a little bit too, should I say, impulsive or impatient with these areas. And if you have children, they could be striving for more attention. So in other words, not so easy to get along with. But I will say towards the end of the month, with Jupiter going into your second house, don't worry. Money and finances will be great coming up here. So more money and togetherness in the family. If your ascendant or your sidereal moon sit in Cancer, then this means that a lot of activity, including Mars, is in your fourth house. So things are getting torn up around the house. Maybe you're renovating, maybe you're clearing out, cleaning out the house. And maybe you're in the process of moving where things are hectic and just not at peace in the house. And issues around your mom, if she's still alive. Please make sure that you check on her because there could be some disruptions or accidents or things around the house. Now Jupiter's entering into your first house towards the end of the month, which means great confidence and a sense of feeling good about yourself and changing your appearance, looking better. Things are really starting to open up in a positive way for new beginnings for you. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Leo, then this means that the Mars, all this energy of Mars, and particularly, I want to say the Sun and Mercury, all these planets are in your third house. And this can represent spontaneous trips. You got to go suddenly, but don't be too hasty. Take your time, drive carefully, because this can be a little bit too much aggression in the driving or things like that. Just take it slow. But it is a time for new learning, new education. And if you have any siblings, look out. There can be some disagreements. And Jupiter has just, towards the end of the month, entered into your 12th house. Therefore, I gotta say, this is a time of healing things from the past and possible some travels to foreign countries. If your moon or ascendant sit in sidereal Virgo, then this means that Mars is transiting with the Sun, Mercury in your second house. This is a time for, don't be too impulsive with purchases or buying. Take it easy, slow down. Be careful what you say. You can definitely be putting your foot in your mouth. If you don't, take it easy, slow down, and think before you speak. Now Jupiter, towards the end of the month, is entering into your 11th house. And this means that new friends, new associates, even influential people are going to come into your life. And if you have an older sibling, there can be a healing with them. Plus, this can be a time of great gains financially. Go for it. This is a time of making money. If your moon or ascendant sit in sidereal Libra, then Mars is in your first house with Mercury and the Sun. This is a time of new beginnings, new starts, but you are a little bit impulsive and impatient. Take it easy because that could lead to mishaps or accidents. But it is a time that you will feel more energy, more energized, and fresh and new about things. While at the same time, transiting Jupiter will go into your 10th house towards the end of the month, bringing you up in terms of success with work and your career. And your reputation is stellar during this time. Your boss or your company, whatever it may be, is doing really, really well. You're at the heights of success. If your ascendant or your moon sign sit in sidereal Scorpio, then this is where Mars and Mercury and Sun, all these planets are in your 12th house. This may be where people talk behind your back. There's a little bit of jealousy, I think, going on, especially around the workplace. So be aware of that. But it's also a time to heal any of your past grievances with people from your past, at least within yourself. And be aware it may be more difficult for you to sleep at night, but you need your rest. So go to bed earlier in this case. Now Jupiter, towards the end of the month, is going to go into your 9th house, which represents world travel and higher learning, learning new things, maybe going back to school, but taking it from a spiritual perspective in the alignment of your learning and your healing. If you have a moon or ascendant in Sidereal Sagittarius, this means that the Mars, Sun, Mercury are in your 11th house. This could be a time when you're invited to a lot of social events, but be careful. Some of the people there may not have the best intentions for you. So be aware that some of your friends are being argumentative and confrontational during this time. And if you have an older sibling, this can apply to them as well. Now, you might have some really strong desires and intentions that you want to manifest. Go for it. This is a time of ambition and drive. But the Jupiter is in your 8th house towards the end of the month, and this can deal with money through other people, investors, or even inheritances, but money will come your way. And this can be a time of deep psychological healing as well. If your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Capricorn, then Mars is transiting with the Sun and Mercury, your 10th house. This is a time to, if you're looking for a new position in work, go for it. This is a time that you'll shine, you're elevated, you look great. Ambition and drive will give you a new position and or just an advancement in your job. But be aware that don't be confrontational with your boss, because it may create some kind of jealousy. Just remember, work as hard as you can, but don't be confrontational. Now Jupiter is towards the end of the month going into your 7th house. It can be a time for new relationships, even new business contracts. And it is a time when your marriage or relationship, if you're in one, will improve and get better, and your partner will have some good successes during this time. If your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Aquarius, then this means that Mars is in your 9th house with the Sun and Mercury, and this is a time of particularly travels or higher learning, taking classes, learning, reading a lot, gathering information. You're driven. And you could go on some trips unexpectedly and sporadically. But be aware that if your father's still around, there might be some confrontations. So look out for that. And transiting Jupiter is towards the end of the month going into your 6th house, which means health will be a priority. You will get healthier, you will get stronger. And it's also a time that you can adopt a new pet, as well as you'll be getting along much better with employees and or co-workers at this time. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Pisces, then we're looking at a time of creativity. This is like where Jupiter is going to be moving into your 5th house, which you're going to have so much more creative ideas. And if you're an entrepreneur, this is the time to really buckle down with some new ideas and new inventions. Now, if you're wanting to start a family, this would be ideal. Towards the end of October through December, you're going to find that this is the time of pregnancy, growth, and the family can prosper and grow as well. Now Mars is in your 8th house for the duration of this month, and that means that this is a time of deep introspection, psychological discovery about who you are and what you're here to do. But most of all, you can uncover some secrets as to what your blocks are, what's blocking you in this world, why you can't get ahead. And with deep introspection, psychological work, you can come up with the answer, healing issues from the past. And you'll find that your mind is a little bit more over the top, worrisome, intense, but this is the time that your thoughts can lead you to new discoveries. And the other aspect about this tells me that your ability to research and get to the core and the bottom of things during this time is profound. This is a great month for self-discovery, new things about yourself, but don't be overly worried or too concerned over things that you have no control over, because this is the time that you will have the ability to uncover the secrets of blocks and problems to make your life start working better. And another thing is, during this time, you're going to find that there's just so much newness in your ideas. You're going to think differently. But prior to that, I'm going to say that Jupiter is in your 4th house from the moon or the ascendant. And what I find with that is you could be moving, or maybe you've just moved, but something to do with your home, your real estate. This year is up for certain. And this is the month that you see a lot of new ideas will come into your mind that will give you the freedom that you need to create another life and world for yourself. So with that, I have gone through all 12 signs of the zodiac for the month of October. So if you would like to learn more about me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And also, if you want to join our spiritual community, check out my Patreon group. It's all on my website, galacticcenter.org. And if this has inspired you to learn more about astrology, join my university. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.